Josh.
I'm Josh.
And I'm not Josh, but together we are
Joshing around in air.
What is up, people? Thank you very much for tuning in. I've never done it. What am I on about? I've never started a podcast like that. I said, "What is up, people? Thank you for tuning in." Like, who do I think we are?
Alan Partridge.
Alan Partridge. Well, there you go. It's great to be back, gentlemen. Sam, what are we drinking?
Kolat Medica is Polisom. 440544 north, 153315 east, which I expect is somewhere Bosnia sort of direction.
Okay.
This is a very traditional drink, I'm told, in Bosnia. I'm told by a Bosnian, but this has got particular infusion of acacia, chestnut, and sage honey. Rakia,
Excellent.
that's what it's called. Rakia, have you heard of that?
No.
Yeah, I've had some before, and it is... can't get into it.
Also, if any astute listeners are noticing, there is consistent firework noise outside. We are currently in the middle of Diwali, so happy Diwali.
Now you're just dating how long it takes us to get an episode out.
Look, they know.
People are going to be listening to this in like April, like, Diwali, when was that?
It's okay. Our listeners know what to expect. There's been gaps, I'll admit.
Since.
Okay.
No, there were gaps before. I can't even blame it on that anymore. Oh dear.
Oh, that was good sound.
Nice. That was tasty. That's a fun face Sam is making as he sniffs this bottle.
What percentage is this?
So
30.
what is this, by the way? Is it
goodness.
just a liqueur, like a...
Okay, don't go too crazy.
Someone's have work tomorrow. Grazie. Thank you very much. All right, cheers. Oh, sorry, Sam's still pouring. Oh, it smells like cow pole. This is great. Right, well, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's nice. It's just sweet, isn't it?
It is sweet. There's a lot going on. It's like you're tasting an incense stick.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've never thought of that as a positive taste.
I mean, I'm enjoying it, but yeah, it does taste a bit like an incense.
There is honey in it.
There's honey. There's some bitterness. Definitely some bitterness. It's almost like like someone put a little bit of bitters in honey. That's almost what it tastes like.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's good. Well, there you go. Thank you very much. What is that class now? Is that just a spirit?
Yeah,
A liqueur?
Rakia is I've heard of Rakia before. I think I've tasted some. It wasn't like this though.
So where did you get this from?
Oh, it's from Croatia. Sorry.
Ah,
So yeah, a friend of mine for my birthday said, "Is it okay if I bring a bottle of something for your birthday?" And I said, "Yes, but I'm not a great wine drinker.
Yeah.
So, I don't mind whatever else." And he said, "Are you into whiskey?" I said, "Yes, I'm definitely into whiskey. The least that I've heard about it, the better." And he brought this saying, "This is from my private connection."
oh,
And,
excellent.
Yeah.
This is very
it's
nice.
very nice. Yeah, definitely.
Enjoying that one. Well, thank you very much. Right, we have some listener questions. You know what, Josh? Do you have a listener question for us? I know you are a host of the podcast, but you are also technically listening to us, even though you definitely listen to the podcast the least out of any of us.
I think I've done one episode.
Okay, one episode. One episode.
Yeah, I don't really like listening to my own voice back. So one day I might make it to 2. How many is it you need to do to give us a rating?
5-star review. I think you need to listen for like 15 minutes or 30 minutes or something. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. So I've done enough to give us a...
Yeah, you can give us a review on Spotify. Bit offended you haven't done that already.
Okay, I'm not even going to try and pretend it's a listener question because I can't remember the name.
What, the fake name that you came up with? For
No, the name of the unit. So my question was, who are the Urani guys I'm thinking of?
Kami Akashi. Yeah.
Kami Akashi. What does the diet of a Kami Akashi look like? And what's their training regimen to get into fighting shape?
Yeah, I mean, those are some chunky boys.
Did you watch the sumo wrestling? This was on this last week.
Spoke to someone about sumo. Was it you I chatted to about sumo wrestling? Maybe it wasn't you. It was definitely your birthday party. Maybe I chatted to Sam, Mark. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, these people don't know who Mark is. But yes, excellent. I did not watch the sumo wrestling, but I think I might have talked to you about it, to be honest.
Yeah. I thought it was very entertaining. I've never really watched sumo wrestling before, but it's pretty intuitive what you're looking for, and the games are quite short, and so you quite quickly are rewarded with that. Here we go,
Nice.
that's the winner. But for a country that famously produces short people, there are rules in sumo wrestling about the size that you have to be, and so they eat particular diets to get themselves large enough to qualify to be a sumo wrestler. And I wish that I had listened to what that diet was, because that would be
So I know a few bits about this. You know, everything we learn about in the West to like lose weight, they do the opposite. So they will like wake up and not eat any food, I've heard, because they don't want to start their metabolism.
Right.
And then they will like eat loads of food right before going to bed.
Brilliant.
And it's like everything you've ever learned, you know, don't do this because it makes you put on weight. They just do all of that. You know, it'll be like they'll make sure to like not eat before doing exercise to not get the metabolism going, and then just when the metabolism's coming down, eat a whole ton of food. That was what I'd learned. And there might be someone out there, you know, who's a lot more than me. I remember a few years ago I got a bit into watching it. I remember at the time there was like a Georgian guy who was like doing relatively well. But yeah, it was quite a fascinating sport. And what was also really cool, I'm trying to remember, it was a Japanese guy. I think it was like the generation before everyone talked about. I think he was called like the Wolf or something, but he was quite small for what you'd expect a sumo wrestler to be.
Right.
And like a little bit more well built. Like he looked a little bit less, but he was just crazy strong. And like, learn about it. They basically try and pick the other guy up by what's around their waist, because if you lift them up they can't push you anymore. So they both often like charge forward and they will try and grab like
the waistband.
Waistbands. It's not even really shorts. I mean, they try and give the other guy a wedgie and lift him up, and then they lift him up, they can like kind of throw him out the ring. But then other times they'll do stuff like I saw on they'll try and do like a trick, so they'll like pretend to go in and then dodge out the side, and because their momentum's so big, the other guy would just run like right out of the ring.
Brilliant.
The more I watch it, you realise it's like a really entertaining sport, and like Sam said, it's like quite quick, so it's like really easy to like watch a couple of rounds, and it's quite entertaining. And like with all stuff, there's way more technique than you think. Once you start getting a little bit into it, you start learning, there's actually like quite a lot going on here.
Yeah, that's mad. Well, there you go. So the Kami must be packing on the pounds, eating plenty of whatever they're ghosts or something. Like, how does a ghost put on money? They're like demons. I don't know what the deal is with the Euroni, but
They,
there's definitely something going on.
demons who have ascended from hell to
Okay.
heaven, but their heaven is the world of Aya.
Oh, right. So there you go.
Oh, that's fun. Right, so we're their heaven. Okay. Is it heaven because McDonald's exists? Is that why? Because that's why it's my heaven. as the resident chonky boy of the podcast.
Yeah, this was actually all leading up to the fact that we were really impressed that some people cosplayed last LGT, and next year Josh is going to cosplay as Kamiyashi.
Yeah. My cosplay is turning up.
And they have like a big face on their chest, so
Yeah,
I think
they do,
next year
yeah.
you should go with like body paint and have painted a big face.
Yeah. And Josh has volunteered himself to paint, actually, to do the painting. So, yeah, good job. Right, swiftly moving on. Okay. Right, this is already just descending into chaos.
I've lost it.
30% was too strong.
Yeah.
It went too
That
early.
tipped us over the edge.
I think it was the thought about body painting you did too strong for me.
It's the it depends if it's finger paints or not. It's nothing like that, skin on skin.
That was how
The paintbrush hadn't even come to mind. Didn't even cross your mind.
We're a top 100 painting.
Yeah. Just turns out it's face painting on large men.
Oh man.
Dear. Right, well, let's talk about some models. Not sumo wrestling models, but they are the Parabellum models. I think we have some opinions, some thoughts, some positive and negatives. I think with all these things, it's good to start with the positives. I would say that by far, the Parabellum minis have improved aesthetically. Very much.
Yeah.
Even their remixes, right? You look at the old Men at Arms, and you look at the new ones, and they just look fantastic. I mean, it wouldn't be out of place with the Age of Sigmar cities of Sigmar.
Gondor?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, no, definitely not the Middle Earth stuff. That does look a little old, doesn't it? But the human faction in Age of Sigmar. Anyway, it looks really good. The new stuff looks really good. The old PB was very. The old PB plastic was very soft, and I know they had a bit of a rough time with their old distributor or old. I can't remember. Anyway, I think aesthetically they've improved quite a lot. So that is my positive that I will say.
Yeah.
I think it's important to start with.
And I know, I think we're about to hear from others who don't always agree with me, but I feel like the last few things I've built, not been too bad. I've been mainly building a lot of Sorcerer Kings, which means I've mainly only been building brutes, not guys.
Yeah, that
But
is easier.
they've not been too bad at all. I've done some water elementals. They went together super easy. Did a whole bunch of fire elementals. They went together super easy.
Nice.
Before that, I had built... I'd built a fair... Old Dominion. I remember them being actually not too bad. I didn't like, actually, the guys holding axes. It was like a separate arm, separate arm, and then trying to get the axe to go between the two. I always remember that being
was
a little
pretty
hard.
trash, yeah.
But yeah, lots of them weren't too bad. Kind of 5 pieces of model. I was quite happy with a lot of those.
You know what? Ash and Dawn, lovely to build.
Yeah.
I mean, they're incredibly expensive kit, so I'd hope so. But you literally just they're all monopose, right? So monopose just help. But it's like everything goes in, and there's like there's no really obviously exposed bits either. Like everything covers something. So if there's like a join, like a shoulder, the like shoulder plate of armor covers that join. So it just like it looks really smooth, and like it just makes sense, and they've just built it really smartly. So I think that's they are capable, and they have shown they're capable of doing this stuff, but they're just not consistent with it, which I think is maybe where we come on to. But
no, I totally disagree. Parabellum, I think all your models are great. If you want to send me more models for free, I can build them, talk about how great they are to build.
Listen, as soon as we get that 10% code Parabellum, we'll start being nice to you.
I don't think that we have ever asked for the code.
No, I think there's not much point in asking when you know you won't get.
They're like, can you let us know what credit cards you use so we can add 10% to yours?
Yeah.
But Sam, I believe you wanted to talk about how much you'd enjoyed building a spider.
Oh,
Right?
you loved those spiders, didn't you? Yeah.
I'll say some positive stuff first.
All right.
Because I like minis, and I enjoy minis so much that the original kit I don't have that big a problem with. I don't mind the original Man at Arms. Easy to build.
Oh yeah.
They look fine. You know, stick some paint on them.
Yeah, sure.
They're nice. I didn't really hate the original Abomination model because you can build it any way you want. I love seeing David Richardson making his thing, you know, flying through the air like he's on WrestleMania. I think that, you know, that was pretty good stuff. I think my favourite Parabellum unit I've ever built is the Blooded for the Wadroon, where they're like 3 or 4 pieces per model, and you can swap out the arms and the heads so that every time that you build them, you're building a new unit. I just think, yeah, they're really nice. The Kami actually, they're pretty nice to build, and nice and chunky pieces. Slot together. The Damara Damashi, though, that pose one of those 3,
right?
You know, that requires the ability to manipulate quantum mechanics to be able to get the paper to stick together.
You need to travel through space-time to be able to glue such a small contact point.
Yeah, I mean, I think any mini producer that publishes a video explaining how to put a mini together probably needs to think, you know,
we could have thought that one.
Should we just revisit the way that this is going together? And if you're going to make a video, please don't make the video you reading the instructions out as they're written in the bit of paper.
Right, give us more information.
I've already tried sticking piece 11 to piece 49. So you just saying, you start by sticking piece 11 to piece 49. Here you go, click. Like, okay, I can see that it is possible. I didn't believe it wasn't possible. It's that I can't do it today. But all in all, actually, Damara Damashi, I've built them. It's all right.
Yeah.
It doesn't look as neat as I'd quite like it to, but on the table, it sticks together.
Oh, you can't tell, yeah. It looks, they are beautiful. I think they are visually one of my favourite models.
I think this is the thing that I am getting caught up on at the moment emotively, that it's like the design aesthetically of the models is brilliant.
Yes.
And then that being translated into Sam is a less than perfectly skilled modeler and would just like to be able to slot some pieces together like it's Lego. And some model kits do seem to work and others seem not to. So was it the veterans, the Wadroon veterans that I was building recently, and in the instructions there's a page which allows you to choose, are you building the veterans or are you building the Chosen of Conquest?
Right, yeah.
And one of them is, are you building the champion from the Chosen of Conquest or are you building the leader of the veterans? And then it points you in 2 directions.
It's just not... Yeah.
But then the instructions within the directions is, if you followed the line that says, if you're building champion of Chosen of Conquest, go down here, then it says, find the pieces for the leader of the veterans. And then when you've built it, then it points you to another picture, which isn't a picture of the model that you have just built. And then the same happens on the other side. So you're just sent down these 2 routes. And if you don't know what you're doing,
then
it looks like you still don't know at all. And then this last week, I have built, sort of, one of the lovely looking spiders for the Ironi.
Yes.
And yeah, again, looks brilliant. However, for example, there is a flautist who is hidden behind the front character, and so you're never really going to see it. Lovely to know she's there, little band playing some music. This little character holding this tiny little flute is made of 9 different pieces of plastic, including one piece that is just the hand that you have to then balance in place in a little ball and socket joint for a tiny little flute to slot in, which glues onto the other wrist. And thank goodness the hand is moulded onto the bit of plastic that's got the flute, because on the guitarist that isn't the case. So you have the guitar and 2 individual hands that you have to stick onto 2 individual arms. That feels like at some point in the quality assurance process, somebody needs to learn to go, I feel like this has been overworked a bit. It's probably possible to build this model out of 3 pieces of plastic and not 9 when you're not actually going to look at the person's back. And in fact, little hidden pieces of a model brings me on to the Terraform Surveyor. Where there's an entire character that you build that is hidden inside the actual model that you look at. You can't see this wonderfully shaped bum, which is the first picture that you see in the instruction manual. We think, that's quite an odd thing for them to include it, but it must be quite prominent for them to have put so much effort into shaping it, and then it gets completely wrapped up in something else. I
mean, someone sat there on a computer and sculpted that bum on flipping AutoCAD or whatever they use, only for it to be hidden inside something else they've designed.
And presumably it's gone through a level of review that somebody has looked at it and gone, yes, that looks good enough, or maybe it's almost good enough, but it could do with a little bit of extra work on this piece that nobody is ever going to actually see. It feels...
I feel like they just do it for the fun of the building. They're like, people are going to laugh as they build this.
I think so,
I think, well, I'm obviously not enough of a hobbyist. I mean, I have these little moments where I look on the Discord and someone says, for example, I've built the drum beast and the shell just doesn't quite match up for me.
Right.
It might match up for some people. It didn't for me. I'm not too bothered by it. Stick it together. It looks nice. It was easy enough to build.
Yeah.
And somebody else on Discord said, it doesn't quite match up, but it's okay. I just got some green stuff and moulded this little lovely design into the crack. And I think, if I was a sculptor, I'd probably sculpt my own stuff, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I just want to buy a kit and
build it,
stick it together and it work,
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I think for stuff like that, you're just glad it's not resin, because with that, then it's even harder, because you've got, I mean, I know you just use super glue for your stuff, but plastic glue does help a lot when you're trying to build these minis and stuff isn't quite working, because you've got a bit of time to make it work.
Sure.
And the glue takes a little longer to set. So, for example, that Damari Damashi, I think it might have been helpful to not have super glue, because I imagine you probably put a few layers of super glue onto some of those joints, right, to make them work.
Well, quite possibly. I mean, I'm not sure. The problem is having to anticipate where things are coming in the future.
Yeah.
So one of the issues with this spider model for me was it tells you stick the legs onto the front part of the body, construct the back half of the body and stick those 2 pieces together, and then stick that onto a piece of wood that is coming out of the base. And I stuck my pieces together and it wasn't quite at the right angle, but now it's stuck in. So it doesn't quite stick onto the wood the way that it's meant to. I think it'll be okay. Once there's some paint on it, it'll just look like it's all right. But then the step after that is take this scroll and feed it in between the legs at an angle and then like twist it again so that it gets around the pincers at the beginning, and then stick it down to the base, and then lift the bit at the back and stick it to the bit of scroll that's coming off the back of the bit of wood. I think that there are 6 pictures to tell you how to put a single piece of plastic into it. And again, I think there ought to be just a little checklist.
Simpler way to do this, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's like your thing with the numbers, right? The numbers on the plastic kits, right? Surely you should just put all the pieces on your sprue and go, cool, that's the sprue. And then number it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 after that fact. Yeah. Rather than going, let's number it in. I don't understand, because you start with step 1 with piece 47 and 48. Piece 47 and 48 aren't on where you think they would be on the sprue, because it's not numbered like bit 1 is on the top left corner, bit 2 is next to it, bit 3 is next to that. Like, it's not like that at all. That's also randomized.
Yes.
So there's like 2 bits of randomization. So you're like, great, I'll start with bits 47 and 48. Which of the 2 different sprues are they on? Okay, found them. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong sprue. I've just cut out the wrong piece. Let me go back to the other sprue. Okay, I think I found it. It's just like, yeah.
Yes, I feel like there are 2 logical ways to number your parts. Either you number them in the order that you put them together.
Yeah.
So that you look for piece 1 on the sprue and cut it out, look for piece 2, and then glue those bits together, and then you look for piece 3 and you glue that on. I could see that would work, and it might be hidden around in different places because you're making a sprue that fits into a nice neat rectangle, but that seems logical. The other way is you build the model, you figure out the order that it's going to go in, and then you number the sprue in a way that makes it easy to find. So you start off with sticking pieces 13 and 26 together, and so you go to the sprue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13 is going to be obviously there, rather than 47 and 48 are on 2 different sprues.
Yeah, sure.
Which is in that spider kit, by the way.
Yeah.
And I have another one to build at home, and I'm willing myself to do it at the moment.
Yeah.
I will get there.
Is it a dual kit?
Yes.
Are you going to build the other one the other way?
Yes.
So no flute lady?
No, I get to give her a guitar in the next one.
Oh, right, that you get the harder option.
It's there are 2 different guitars. When the lady at the front has got the guitar, then she's got 2 separate hands you have to stick together.
Okay.
When the lady at the back has the guitar, then one of the hands is connected.
Okay.
I think it'll be slightly easier because just a guitar is a bit bigger.
I remember Household Guard had that thing, and I guess the Gilded Legion as well, where there was like some arms had 1 arm attached to the spear.
Yeah.
That was 1 piece of plastic. Some of them had a spear with 2 hands on, but they're cut off at the wrists.
Yeah.
And then they had some arm pieces that were then 2 pieces. So you'd have like the upper arm and then the forearm, and those were 2 separate pieces. And then they would then glue onto this spear. And then you'd also have to glue the other arm on. And so you're just like putting this together, and I'm like, I hope that I'm able to get this in the shoulder joints. Yeah. And so sometimes I put the 2 arms on the spear, and then you kind of like slowly like hook them around so it fits in the shoulder joints, but it's like moving around a little bit loose in there.
Yeah.
And it's like you just kind of have to rest it down and then glue the bottom bit, and then just slap the shoulder pads on top, and you're like, it's fine. But it's like it is fine and it is stable. I've never had one break, never had one fall off. But it's just like while you're building it, it's just not an enjoyable experience.
It's stressful, isn't it? That's I think the first PB model I ever built was one of the Steel Legion.
Yeah,
and that
nice
was
and
one.
simple.
Well, relatively simple, but the one that I remember, it must have been my first one, had got 2 arm pieces and then the sword.
Yeah.
But then you had to get the arms at the right angle relative to each other so that when it held the sword, it would all stick together, and you didn't end up with like a wrist disconnected from its handle, that the sword is at a really weird angle because that's the only way they'll stick together. And I think once it's together, then it's great. But it's just in that moment where my hands are now all covered in super glue and I can't do anything, and I just want to be able to take my thumb away without bringing the only piece that I want to be stuck to it with me.
Yeah.
I remember actually now with my Seder. My Jotnar Seder wasn't too bad, but the one that sucked, and this was one of the few times I actually followed the rules. I put both the arms in. They weren't ball and socket, they could only go in one way. But I must have not done it right, because then when I went to go put the weapon, the two wrists wouldn't line up. And I ended up, because it's like a straight kind of shaft, I cut it, the weapon, and I cut like a segment out and then glued it back together, and I managed to do it in an alright spot, and I think kind of hit it. I don't think you can really tell, but the fact that I had to literally cut like 2 or 3 mils out of my weapon to make everything fit together felt annoying. And I've heard since, just ignore what they say and attach the arms first. It's easier to kind of push the shoulders in. But I didn't like the fact it didn't feel...
Yeah, I think there's... this is me speaking about me, that I just think that my level of skill is not great enough, or is not aligned to the expectations of me. And that's basically what it is. So like that model, there's an expectation that you can somehow see that that's how it's meant to go. And so when you put the arm pieces in, you just sort of know that this is what you're going to be doing next. And yeah, I am the same. I would like to be able to just follow the rules as they're written.
Yeah.
And for it to work, you know.
I mean, I have to say we are doing slightly better than anyone who buys Forge World models. Right. Because those are like horrific. They're like resin pieces, big chunky resin pieces that warp.
Yeah.
So when you try and glue them together, they're like, they don't even fit. So they're having to sand it down. And you know what's really dangerous for you?
Oh, it's inhaling
resin
the
dust.
Yeah.
So when you're sanding that down, you've got to wear a mask. Right, fine. So I've got to get another piece of equipment. And now I've got, anyway, I'm just... Yeah, I'm glad we don't have any of that nonsense.
Midwinter Minis did something
Warlord
recently.
Titan.
It wasn't Warlord Titan, something more recently. But he said, I'm getting these pieces out of the kit, and this one doesn't. It doesn't quite come off right, so I need to get out my plastic saw.
Yeah, he has like literally
an actual like hacksaw to cut it off. So
4 miniatures. That's like next level hobbying, isn't it? Like to be able to do all of that kind of stuff. I'm like, that's too much for me.
I feel like the test needs to be someone at Parabellum must have like a son who's in his teenage years, and I do think it should be a son. I worry teenage girls might be too patient, and I need someone who's equally as impatient as me to kind of be the test
someone
person
with some latent rage.
I need someone who, if it doesn't work in the first 5 minutes, they throw it all down the huff and say, no, design that better. And that's what I think needs to be the test. Can your 14-year-old son build it? If he can't, maybe go back to the drawing board.
Well, it is a bit of a shit. There was one guy that I was chatting to at a tournament recently who was running Euroni, and I said, "Oh, you're not running Tomorrow Damashi? I thought everyone's running them." And he said, "I started to build it and I couldn't, and so I stopped."
I mean, that's bad, isn't it?
When I'm entering a tournament,
have someone literally not doing it because your model is designed
choosing to run a list that I know is not as good because I just can't bring myself to build the model.
That's not good.
That is a shame. Yeah. I tried to explain. Actually, like Tomorrow Damashi, poses 2 and 3 are fine. Yeah. It's just this pose number 1 where literally the first 4 or 5 steps you have to do it blind.
Sure.
With little bits of rope.
I almost want to buy some just to try it. Just be like, these guys can't really be serious about this. I think the thing that Parabellum used to do, and they've kind of slowed down on this, which is nice, but they used to have a lot of pieces that were like in halves. So the OG Household Knights, 2 halves that you glued together. Yeah. And it was super obvious. Right, when you glued them together, it's like
the lances were in half.
No. The body of the horses.
Yeah, okay.
But like, there's a fat line that you just have to like You know, and I'm a little bit like this. I like to make everything look smooth and nice. So, you know, I have to sprue go it. And it is satisfying, but it's just so long. It's so annoying. And each bit of barding, it's just... They also did it like really so obviously for a couple of the Dwegham things. So each cannon on the Hellbringer Drake on the Hellbringer Drake is like so obviously two halves. That like every time I've seen someone build it, like they've obviously green stuffed it or sprue gooed it on the Parabellum's website picture, but like every one I've seen in person, no one's done it because it's just so much effort. But the line is super obvious and it looks kind of ugly. Again, Fireforge, they've done it where it looks like their cannons are all in half, and you're just like, surely there's a better way. Like, I don't know, like the cannons aren't that big. I'm sure you could injection mold a piece to be like a cylindrical thing. But then again, I guess it's hard to like have it like without literally being a solid piece of plastic, right? If you want it to be hollow, and you want it in two halves. So I do get that.
Yeah,
but it's just like
it'd have to be solid. Think about it, this is one of the things I actually did at uni.
No,
I had to design something, design a product, and then design the plastic injection mold that would be used to make it. So you had to use a whole software to like model how the plastic will flow in, and you got to pick the different points it will flow in at to make sure like it flows into every area kind of evenly and at the right temperature. And you got to design the mold with like just the right degree of angle. Like you can't have any dead straight lines, otherwise it just won't come out of the mold. So everything needs to be at like a very slight angle. I'm
sure
it's quite science to it.
I'm sure it's super technical. I couldn't do it. So this is completely, it's like a football fan complaining about the skill of the players on the field.
Or sat on your sofa eating Cheetos. Like scoffing down the Doritos.
I'd be interested to hear from Parabellum. I wonder how much of it they do in-house and how much of it is like they design the model and then they just send the model to a company that specialise in it.
Because they use a company in Poland, I believe. It's actually a really good plastic kit maker. But yeah, they use them. All their old kits were designed by a less good company, I think. But anyway, I think, I don't know, like whether they're like they just have the concept art and go make something, and then they get a designer to make it, and then usually they'll get an engineer to like make the mold.
Yeah, that's what I'd assume. I'd assume that they would get something drawn up in SolidWorks, wherever they're going to use, and then get it sent across. And then, some engineer's got to work out how they're going to take it apart and how you're going to put it into a plastic injection moulding.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the problem, innit? Nerds building for nerds. There's a lot.
You're never going to make everyone happy, are you?
No.
But
I feel like you need to have a look at some of the newer elementals I've got, because all of them are in halves, as you said, with the household. And I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't.
Yeah, but are they designed in a way where there's like overlap where the gluing happens?
Yeah, this is the thing that, like, on your cannons, if you had designed some like piece of metal or something,
like a bit of metal that had loads of rivets on it or something, and that just covered up the glue point, that would look great. It doesn't have to be a perfect cylinder.
I don't think any of my glue joints are covered up. I just feel like maybe they got better with the tolerances. I feel like they've come together like...
There are some bits that are really smart, but then there are others where I feel like, gosh, I can't remember what it is. There was a model that I had in my hand recently where I just thought that all I can ever see of this model now is the way that the two core pieces stuck together. That's not the spider, actually. I think the spider, the way that they've hidden, it's very natural, where stuff is stuck together. So even like those hands, at least it is like the individual pieces. The hand goes into the wrist, and so that's two different things that you're looking at. It's not like half of the hand is there. It's not like the guitar is in two pieces.
No,
whereas maybe it's the Centaur Avatara have got lances that are in two pieces.
Right.
And so halfway along, there's just this bit where the plastic changes and is stuck there, you know, and it's difficult to not see it once you know it's there. It's a bit of a moan, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, that was an exciting conversation. I do think, you know, I'm sure some people would complain about all sorts of miniatures companies on how they make plastic. I think it seems that GW make the best plastic, and there just seem to be the least amount of issues with their stuff. But that's because they've been literally doing it for decades.
Doing it a very long time, and they are less than perfect. You know, there are some things. I built something for them recently, actually, and thought, like, what a shame that you've made this really obvious error. Like, halfway down an arm, it's just got something in two parts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's not
perfect.
No, and it's not a unique problem for Parabellum, you know. It's just when I'm sitting at my table just wanting to finish gluing this spider together.
Yeah, that's where it becomes an issue. There you go. Right, well, guys, been a good chat. Thank you for listening. If you're interested in telling us about your hobby gripes about Parabellum or things that you really enjoyed about their kits, you know, maybe a bit more positive than us, then that might be nice. Then feel free to send in an email or a listener question at joshingaroundinair@gmail.com. We also have a book, which is the Miniature Wargamers Handbook, an ideal companion for the modern wargamer. That was pretty good.
It was pretty close.
That was pretty.
I just don't understand why you don't just get it up on Amazon on your phone.
Yeah, just have it there.
Then it wouldn't be fun, Josh.
It is like watching somebody struggle with a spelling bee.
Yeah,
every single episode,
but like 10 times in a row
with a word that they have invented.
No, do you know, it's like asking a dyslexic person to try and spell out a long word. That's what it watches.
Yeah.
Like every time I just see pain on your face, and you're like you feel like you're being publicly embarrassed to try and do this.
Spell faithful. How many L's?
I mean, at least, it was pretty close. That time was almost word for word perfect. And a few episodes ago, I think that you called it the Wargamer's Guide to the Galaxy. So we are heading in the right direction.
I did do that. Yeah. Well, there we go. That's a good note to end on. So, thank you very much for listening. And we will catch you next time.
See you next time.